there was a big old series of Dragon Ball announcements this week. They had a big release of stuff. So, Sparking Zero DLC, Super Saiyan, Bardock, Demon Piccolo, Super 17, all that stuff. Whatever, that's fine. New game project, Age 1000, which apparently is the timeline that the Dragon Ball MMO that got canceled was going to take place in. So some existing Toriyama note stuff that is getting pulled into its own game thing. A 40th anniversary special video showing off some panels getting animated. That was like, that looked all right. Looked cool. And then a new Dragon Ball Super series starting called Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol. So Dragon Ball will continue.
Bro, I'm watching it looks like a Twitch stream of Sean Schimmel watching the announcements get announced at the Dragon Ball conference, just losing his shit, cuz like every time they announce one of these fucking things, he's like, yeah, like every single time they announce a new Dragon Ball anime or nothing, he's just like, yeah, I'm Goku.
Yeah. They're all. I think they also announced the it's like a Battle of the Gods remake, I believe, with Beerus
like
there.
Battle of the Gods Kai, essentially. Which is weird because it was already a movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't. I missed. Maybe I should fucking catch this instead. What is a really? There's this feeling now that sucks, which is I'm watching the 40th anniversary video, and you're seeing the Toriyama panels starting to get animated and move and stuff, and you're like, oh, that looks nice. That's a nice way of bringing it to life. Is this AI? Did they AI these panels, or did someone actually animate these? Oh, that's a cool look. At the Frieza and Goku are moving, and I
you
just
can't do that. You can't live your life that way.
It sucks. But you're going, you're doing the fuck. This is suspicious. You know, but no, there was some 3D stuff that looked really faithful to the original manga.
You can't go down to the glory hole and sweat too hard about what's on the other side. You'll ruin the whole thing.
I will peek through the hole before I do anything else. Thank you very much. I will stare inside and see what the fuck is going on in there.
Oh, I wouldn't. I'd never go to one of those things. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I see. You set the analogy up, and then you're like, and then you.
I tricked you, you disgusting pig.
There you go, coward.
Absolutely. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think with the not I haven't been obviously following Super and stuff, but like I know they announced the there was the Chibi series where like Kid Goku and everything was happening again just now, and I guess I kind of thought like, oh, that's doing a weird side thing that's kind of like keeping the franchise going, but it was actually canon and continued. It was just its own like weird new chapter with Daima. And with this announcement, I think it's something I didn't quite put together was like Dragon Ball is now back and will continue forever.
Has Dragon Ball ever not been back in the history of the world?
Well, between Super and like it actually being not around, like Z, it was like, yeah, Dragon Ball's done, but we're still making.
I don't think there's been a day in my life for 20 years I haven't seen Goku somewhere.
There was before this whole Beerus Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan stuff started and they brought Dragon Ball back. It was done. They were continuing to make and sell things as an IP, but the story was like closed off. It was like Oob is the end of the timeline and that's it.
Did you believe that then?
Well, yeah, because there was no more story. They were just making games and selling products.
I didn't believe that shit.
You know?
I didn't believe that shit for a second.
I think that like committing to retelling things or like Kai and doing things where you're like you can re-release stuff or whatever, that it felt like, hey, we have a giant world fucking class IP that we can keep using, but like I didn't necessarily until they reopened up the story moving forward in time with all this current stuff, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was explained to me that Super takes place before the finale Oob scene. This is all post Z, pre Oob.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's still a timeline ending at the to make it there. Yeah. So anyway, it just kind of I don't know. We spent a lot of time with no Dragon Ball story happening. So now that it's kind of like back and there's multiple series going on, it's kind of like, oh shit, like in a post Toriyama world, I I guess there will always be more Dragon Ball, but mangas end sometimes, and I thought this was a case of a manga that ended, but yeah. Like, even if you go on to Boruto or fucking you reanimate the end of Bleach or animate for the first time, I should say, or whatever the case is, you open it back up, there's always got to be money being made. Make no mistake, I always assume that's the case. But yeah, it's like, okay, there's like proper, just the story will go on regardless. I would have assumed that in any case that I think like post Toriyama there would be a well, I guess it's a new start of a new series name, like with Galactic Patrol, and then that'll come to an end, and then they'll just announce a new name, perhaps. But
they're gonna do Dragon Ball.
Okay, not a lot of strong feelings about Dragon Ball. That's fine. Moving on.
No, it's forever. No, I can't feel strongly about it because it's forever. And I never believed that it wasn't forever for 1 second of my whole life.
Well, what about the 10 years when there was no new story happening in Dragon Ball?
You mean the 10 years where I saw Dragon Ball shit everywhere, every single day? That stuff?
But none of it was new story. It was just retellings or products coming out.
It was only a matter of time.
Sure. All right.